When you were citing the readings to comment on the benefits of AV tools for scholars, you basically focused your comments on 5 areas. The first one was the quality of the teaching and learning process, AV tools for different phases of the teaching and learning process, different types of content that you present using them, the skills that students may develop, and the different types of subjects that you can teach when you're using AV tools. When you mentioned the different kinds of benefits of AV tools that could help improve the quality of the teaching and learning process, you basically talked a lot about retention and how these types of tools can help with retention of material. Also, the next thing you mentioned more often was the possibility that students were engaged and that they had more interest in what you were going to teach. You also mentioned about attention and how your students were paying attention whenever you use these kinds of tools. Also, the possibility of students being able to visualize something that they would normally not be able to visualize just by word descriptions. And also, another thing that was important was the use of AV tools to establish the relevance of what you were trying to teach. In some occasions, you focused on the benefits of AV tools in terms of the different phases of the teaching and learning process in which you could use these kinds of tools. And so, for example, the two most important phases for you were the time when you're trying to activate prior knowledge right at the beginning of the learning experience, and also when the students were actually ready to share their work to evidence what they had learned. That was another area in which AV tools could benefit them. You also talked about the benefits of AV tools in terms of the subjects that could be taught using them. And many of you responded citing the readings regarding language and foreign language learning, where music and video is so important for students to learn. And then you also talked about ways in which content could be enhanced. And so, for example, nowadays you would have access to experts, which in the past you could only have access to if you had them visit your own classroom. And so nowadays you can play a video showing somebody important in a field talking about a particular topic, and your students can benefit of that. You also talked about the benefits of AV tools in terms of the skills that students can develop. And many times you talked about how students have the ability to analyze media using the knowledge they've gained. You also talked about how students can develop critical thinking and problem solving. And you also mentioned how AV tools can help encourage nonlinear learning.